We're on our countdown right now. Hello, everybody. It's Merrie Lynn Ross here, and you are where? Yes, you're on the Beverly Hills Shaman Show. And each week, we bring you a very special person who we know is a shaman. Why are they a shaman? Because wherever they go and whoever they're with, it's better because they were there. And our special guest has outreached for over 20 years into the global market of cyberdating. And we have with us, she's a brilliant, gorgeous woman who has her own mate. So I always say, if they don't have a mate, why should we listen to them? Well, she does. And her name is Julie Spira. I'm sure you've heard of her because she has written, and I'm going to read this. Julie has written the definitive book on dating, by the way, and the name of it, it's a bestseller, of course, and it's The Perils of Cyberdating, Confessions of a Hopeful Romantic Looking for Love Online. I wonder how many of you out there are those hopeful romantics, and I know you are, you wouldn't be here today. You're in this very special place, and without further ado, I'd like to welcome Julie. Welcome to our show, Julie.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, good. I know that one of the things that you and I spoke about is writing, just jumping right into it, is writing a profile. I mean, these are daunting. They ask hundreds of questions. Is there anything short and sweet about this?
No, and that's actually a good thing. I think that the more questions that you'll see on an online dating profile, and a lot of the big sites have them, they might be OkCupid or eHarmony or Match.com, the more you learn about yourself in the process, because you're forced to answer questions about things, whether it's sexuality, whether it's politics, whether it's about life goals, whether it's about money, religion, and you have to answer them on how you really truly feel about your beliefs, and then what do you want in a mate. So it really gives you a lot of time to really go through the process and think about, you're on a love journey. Who do you want to be on that journey with? Someone that shares these values? And then you can ask yourself, how important really is it if someone's the same religion as me or not? Maybe it's not that important to one person. Maybe it's very important to another. So it's great to have fabulous profile photos, which are an absolute must. But what's behind that photo? What's in your heart? What's in your mind? What's in your soul? That's what you learn by answering all of those questions over the course of hours.
Wow. You just made a tremendous point. Before we can look for a mate, we really have to identify who we are and get real with ourselves. And I think that this process is a beginning step for people who may not have done a lot of self-inquiry. I want your book at this point. I want to call you up and have you to be my personal coach, because so many people out there haven't done the work, and they expect the mate, right, is going to come in and fill all these little holes up that we haven't even identified. So assuming, let's take the other end of the spectrum, someone who is mature now, who does kind of know what they want by failed marriages, rotten dates, and having wishful thinking of, oh, if only I'd said this on the date or that, why did I break up, what did I do? How do we get ourselves balanced and ready to go?
That is so important. A lot of people say to me, because I coach singles and I work with singles and I help them find love on the internet. And somebody once asked me, have you ever turned down a potential client? And I thought about it and I said, yes, twice. One, because they weren't legally divorced and I didn't want them in the dating pool pretending that they were through what they were through and that they were available. If you're separated and you haven't filed for divorce, your status is really separated, divorce pending. You're not an available person. And the other time was with someone who I had met who I felt just was really bitter and had a lot of baggage with you at some point. But I think you need to do the work on yourself first. And I think that you need to get yourself a great therapist, because you are going to go on a date and you're going to mail bash this poor nice guy that's buying you lunch or dinner or coffee or whatever. And what did he do wrong? he set up a date with you and you weren't ready.
Well, that shows your integrity, which is wonderful. It makes it more appealing even. On the other hand, you just said something, and I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but you said he's bought you coffee. I have heard all this Dutch date, we go out, we share, I pick up the tab, he picks up the tab. Okay, guys, I may be a spoiled diva, but tell me about that. How do you determine what's appropriate so that you do the right thing on a date?
Now, this question about who pays on a date, it's a big question with really a very simple answer. Is the man pays for the first date. And chivalry is really alive. And so you need to really understand that, some dates, might be fancy and some dates might be coffee. It really doesn't matter in the beginning when you're getting to know someone. So as a man, who might be saying, oh God, dating costs so much money. I've gone on, 6 dinner dates and I've dropped $600 and none of the dates led to a second date. Then don't go to a fancy dinner. Find some place, that's, go to an amusement park and go ride on the Ferris wheel. Fun. So these dates don't have to break the bank. But traditionally, and it still holds true today, no matter how much money the woman makes versus the man makes, on the first date, the gentleman should be paying for the date. And women, don't play cutesy games and leaning into, like try and grab your wallet. Let him be the man. He asked you out on a date. Let him be the man. Let him pay for the date. Say thank you. And if you had a great time, say thank you. I had a terrific time. I really hope we can do this again, because sometimes guys need a little bit of positive reinforcement because they get into this sort of, dating mill, and then they're on a hamster wheel and they're not sure, how is she feeling? And rather than keep it uncertain, you should be very specific and say, I had a really terrific time. It would be great to see you again. Or if he says, I really liked you, would you like to get together again? And you don't feel it, don't be rude about it, because he might have a great friend to introduce you to. Just say, you know what, I really enjoyed my time with you, but I just don't think we have enough in common to develop a relationship. Then everybody leaves feeling good about the other person.
That takes guts. That takes practice. Now, as an actress, I would like to offer something. If I had to know, and that was the hardest thing for me when I was dating, was how do you kind of let people off the hook? And rejection's not easy if they're doing it, but what I'd like to offer up is practice it in the mirror. So that so not that you're phony, but that you have the courage not to play the little cutie girl that you were showing. I just don't know what to. Well, maybe we could. Get real. And all you have to do is look in the mirror and start saying to yourself, thank you so much, you're a great guy. And I'm going to add one. I might have a girl to fix you up with.
Oh, isn't that great? In dating, I believe in casting a wide net. And